Well, that's unfortunate. I just noticed I have a suicidal guppy. There's a dried up dead guppy outside of my aquarium. It just jumped out and I didn't notice it. I have a lid on the tank. It's actually the back end is open, like a little space. But that must have happened when I was putting this bag in here, because I'm moving some fish from my 30 gallon into this 10 gallon. But when I was doing that, you know, some of the fish like got in between the bag and the glass and were kind of struggling there. You know, so, you know, stupid, I guess, as far as fish could be. They'll, you know, get in the way and kind of put themselves in a bad position. You know, a little while back I made a video showing how easy it is. Like I would do a water change and dip the water change vial into the water and a fish would go in it. That's, you know, how stupid they are. So when this happened, I guess I didn't notice this one, but this is one of two fish that, you know, I mean, unless there's more that are around that I don't see, but one of two fish being like one of these black Variatus platies, you know, so it was like flopping around. Like I grabbed it and threw it back in the aquarium, but I didn't notice that one. Must have happened at the same time. Well, anyway, so this is my 10-gallon aquarium. This was actually my original quarantine tank. But when my first batch of fish I was quarantining, couldn't wait until I got to move them into the main tank and had babies in here. So then I ended up letting it serve as a fry grow out tank, just because that was like the first time I had fry in so long. I, you know, kind of changed plans and let, you know, like I said, let this serve as a grow out tank, and now it's like my secondary community tank. So in here, what I'm doing today is moving, if you can even tell which fish are actually in the bag or which fish are swimming in front of it. But these two right here, you can see those are marigold Variatus platies. One of them is, you know, has good like yellow body and red dorsal tail fin, and the other one is pretty much plain yellow, has no coloring. And then this one is a regular platy, maculatus, I think would be the scientific name. See if we can get it focus better. Well, that is, you know, has a tuxedo pattern, and you can see a little bit of you can make out the Mickey Mouse pattern in the back end by the tail fin. It is possible that there's a gold Mickey Mouse platy male, there he is. That could be the father. I moved that in here a while back, but you know, these fish were all born in my 30-gallon community aquarium, and this one, there it is. That one was was in that aquarium, but I had, at the time, I wanted to reduce the amount of adult males, so I moved it in here. And so there's 3 female guppies in here. that are, you know, probably young adults, I guess. So those would be the offspring of the very first female guppy that I got since getting back into the aquarium hobby. And that one, unfortunately, the mother died, but these are some of the offspring. So I'm moving these fish in here because I kind of want to bring their genes into this aquarium. I'm really, from the fish I have, I'm not so much trying to maintain pure strains, but I want to kind of spread the genes around, because one thing I would like to have happen is I have a couple that I believe to be red-tailed black Variatus platies. The only thing is they're lacking red in the tail, so there's two males. These are second generation. They were born in this, you know, like these were among the ones that were born in this tank during the initial group of quarantine fish. And they're, you know, adults now, but I figure maybe if I had some, you know, this Variatus platy, this marigold Variatus platy female has a good red tail. Maybe some of those red tail genes can come into play. And then these female guppies, pretty much what's in this aquarium are, aside from some of the original guppies that were born in this tank from the original around the same time, within days of these black Variatus platies. So those are entirely guppies, but there's one female right there. There's one of the females in front, one of them kind of went by in the back. Those are entirely guppies. There's this yellow one right here is not one that was born in any of my aquariums, but I bought it. Okay, there's the male, the only male from the original that was born in this aquarium. Everything else in here, aside from the ones that were in the original ones born in this tank and that yellow one that I showed, are Guppy Endler hybrids, because let me find the original, or the first male Endler that I had. I mean, around here, I haven't found any place that sells female Endlers, like PetSmarts sell males only. Oh, there he is. Okay, it's a male Endler that would have. Oh, where did he go? Okay, right there. And he is pretty awesome. Like the colors, and like you can, like his tail fin kind of looks like hooks if you can stay still. Anyway, so that yellow female was the first one to that female guppy was the first. There she is. The first one that was mature enough to have babies before the original fish that were born in this tank were old enough. So she had at least what survived or what I ever could see, were 4 babies. So 2 of them, that's one right here. So that's a Guppy Endler hybrid, that male. They don't cooperate and stay still. I'm looking through the camera, I lose them. Okay, there he is. That male, purpley looking thing, you can see like he has like the Endler markings on its body and kind of like a guppy tail fin. And then there's this one. That would have been the brother of that first one that I showed. This one, I mean, looks entirely like an Endler. And so there were 2 males and there were 2 females. That's one right there that's entirely clear, no coloring. And another female that kind of looked like a regular, that might be it right there. It has kind of like a bluish, little bluish type kind of color in the tail. But there's like the next batch kind of looks like that too, so I don't know which is which. But anyway, one that looked like that, there were 4. Like if you were gonna do a Punnett square and have like, I'm trying to do like a square of my fingers. The odd thing is, what I'm seeing through the camera and moving my hand is like a little, I mean, this using the camera on my phone, there's like a second delay almost, so it's hard to do that. Well, anyway, if I was going to do a Punnett square and say, what do you get by mixing, no, I can't find them, this male Endler and this female guppy, and that would be those 4 fish that I pointed out. 2 of those males, one that's kind of like this half guppy, half Endler looking one, and then this one that's entirely looking like an Endler. And I guess the entirely colorless female would probably be like an Endler, and then like a guppy looking other female. So, and there's another one that's like you can see like the Endler patterns on the body, but the tail's kind of guppy-ish. That's like the next batch that was born. I think that's a 3rd generation fish, because I think that would be the offspring of one of the originals that were born in this tank, which are, you know, for me, 2nd generation fish. And there's one of the original platies born in this tank. That was, you know, whether they could be probably the same siblings of these, just the colors came out different. It was weird. There was oh, I lost it now. There it is. There's one male like this, and there was a female, same colors, like, you know, pretty much like white with spots and kind of almost like a Mickey Mouse pattern on the rear. But that one committed fish suicide, and my cat Chatter just went in front of the thing. But yeah, that fish made its way, you know, I found it right up dead outside the tank. It made its way through that little crack. You know, just get an idea of the scale. That's like barely on a firm. Because this wasn't like this lid wasn't specifically for a fish tank, but I mean, I just went to a glass place and had it cut, you know, with enough space to, like, you know, for the tube and heater cord to fit through. Well, yeah, And let's see, there's a pygmy quarry right there on the sponge filter. I have 4 in this tank, but I rarely get to see them all together. And every time I'll go a stretch without seeing all 4, and then I worry that some have died. But maybe a couple days ago I did see all 4 of them, and that was probably the first time seeing all 4 of them, like being able to identify all 4 of them in maybe like 3 weeks. And right now I cannot see only that one. Say kind of, I mean, there's a lot of cover. I've seen them even like, I kind of tried to space the rock so that no fish could fit underneath the sponge filter, but they managed to get under there. There's muchacho. All right, muchacho, out of the way. So, what I have in this tank, I have this is all guppy grass. This is the only aquarium that this is even has like grown this much in. Others I've even had in my main 30-gallon aquarium, but it never really grew. I think where I had it, it was like too much current in it. I don't know. It never really took in that tank. Alright, well, I can't really do what I want to do here with my cat in the way. It's enough anyway. I think I'll end it on that. So, yeah, I've already added aquarium water into this tank, you know, for like a gradual acclimation process, so I'm gonna let them out. You know, I'll do that, and then they'll be joining their new home. All right. Well, I'm Jeff, and I enjoy fishies, and I enjoy kitties. Thanks for watching.